Most people working a full-time job have no idea what their actual financial target is. They know roughly what they earn. They know they should be saving more. But if you ask them the one number that would make them financially free, the specific dollar amount where their money works and they don't have to, most couldn't tell you. Not because they haven't saved enough, because nobody ever told them to calculate it. There's a formula that turns financial freedom from a feeling into a fixed number. It takes about 90 seconds to run. And once you see your number, every financial decision you've been making will look different. Not better or worse, just different, in a way that's hard to unsee. By the end of this, you'll know your number, what it means, and exactly what's standing between you and it. Step 1. Understand what financial freedom actually means in math, not feelings. Most people think of financial freedom as having a lot of money. That's not what it is. Financial freedom is a specific condition. Your investments are generating enough money each year to cover your expenses without you working. The moment that happens, work becomes optional. That's the target. Not a feeling, not a vibe, a math problem with one correct answer. There are two completely different financial situations most people confuse. The first is having more money coming in than going out. That's good. But it still requires you to show up somewhere and earn it. The second is having your money earn money on its own, enough to cover your life. That second situation is freedom. The first one is just a healthy paycheck. Both feel similar when you're in them. The math behind them is completely different. Step 2. The freedom number. Here is the formula. Take your annual expenses, everything you spend in a year, and multiply that by 25. That result is your freedom number. That's the total amount you need invested before your money can cover your life without your paycheck. Where does 25 come from? There's decades of research on how long investment portfolios last when you draw from them each year. The finding that held up across most market conditions, good years, bad years, crashes, recoveries, is that withdrawing 4% of your portfolio per year is generally sustainable long-term. 4% is 1/25th of the total. So if your portfolio is large enough that 4% of it equals your annual expenses, you're financially free. That's the whole formula. Here's what it looks like with real numbers. Say you spend $50,000 a year. Rent, food, transportation, subscriptions, everything. 50,000 multiplied by 25 is $1,250,000. That's your freedom number. That's the portfolio size where, if you withdraw 4% per year, you're covering your expenses without touching your principal, the base amount over the long term. If you spend $40,000 a year, your number is $1 million. If you spend $60,000, it's $1,500,000. The formula is the same. The number is different for everyone, because your life costs what it costs. Step 3. Why you haven't done this math yet? It's not that you were avoiding it. The way personal finance is usually taught pushes people toward different measurements. Save a certain percentage of your income. Pay off your debt. Hit a certain net worth, the total value of what you own minus what you owe. Build an emergency fund. All of that is useful. None of it directly tells you how far you are from financial freedom. You've probably been optimizing for the wrong scoreboard. Not because you made bad decisions, because the scoreboard you were given doesn't point to freedom. It points to stability, which is a different destination. Stability is important. But most people who want freedom are measuring stability and wondering why they never feel close. Step 4. What you're spending is actually costing you. This is where it gets mechanical. Every time your monthly expenses go up, a new subscription, a higher rent, a car payment, your freedom number goes up by 25 times that monthly amount, multiplied by 12. Here's a simple example. Say you add $500 a month in new fixed expenses, a nicer apartment, a car upgrade, a few services you kept. $500 a month is $6,000 a year. 6,000 multiplied by 25 is $150,000. That $500 monthly increase just added $150,000 to your freedom number. That's not a moral judgment on the expense. It's just math. When you see your spending through that lens, not as a monthly cost but as a permanent addition to your investment target, the math becomes very specific, very fast. This is already changing how you look at your finances. The subscribe button is right there. This is what we do every week. Here's the thing most financial content doesn't say out loud. Reducing your expenses is mathematically more powerful than increasing your income, at least early on. When you earn more, you pay taxes on that income first, then you save what's left. When you reduce a fixed expense, Every dollar you cut directly lowers your freedom number by $25, and you keep it without a tax calculation. Say you're currently earning an extra $500 a month from a side project. After taxes, you might keep $350. That's going toward your goal. Now say instead you cut $500 a month from your fixed overhead, drop a car payment, move to a cheaper place, cancel things you don't use. That $500 stays fully in your pocket, and it lowers your freedom number by $150,000 at the same time. The effect is larger. The math is straightforward. Earning more is valuable. But for someone with modest savings trying to close the gap, cutting overhead often moves the needle faster than earning more, especially because lower expenses mean a lower target, not just a faster path to the same one. Here's where you actually stand. Take your last 12 months of spending, or estimate it as best you can. That's your annual expenses. Multiply by 25. That's your freedom number. Now look at what you currently have invested: retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, whatever is growing. That's your starting point. The gap between those two numbers is the only number that should be driving your financial decisions right now. If the gap feels large, that's useful information. It means the decisions you thought were small, the fixed expenses you've slowly added over the years, have a larger effect than they appeared to. It also means the path is clearer than it's ever been. You have a real number. You know where you are. You know the formula. Most people never get this far. Most people will run this calculation once, feel the weight of the gap, and then go back to thinking about income because a bigger paycheck feels more manageable than a number that large. That's understandable. But the number doesn't move because it feels uncomfortable. The math doesn't adjust for how you feel about it. Your freedom number is your freedom number. The only question worth asking from here is, which of your current choices is closing that gap, and which ones are widening it?